Welcome to Courageous Conversation with Therese W. Gamble, powered by Concierge Resource Professional Consultant. Courageous Conversation is a diversity, equality, exclusive initiative. It's a gracious space for a meaningful discussion about culture, life, business, work, learn, live, worship, and play. It's an audio encyclopedia to design bridges, cultures, and generational gaps through active listening and action-oriented changes toward liberation for all.
Greetings, this is your host, Therese W. Gamble, and today we're going to continue the conversation about my PhD candidate coursework in trauma-informed practices. This particular assignment is I am going to describe an approach in celebrating strengths and its relevance to cultivating a trauma-sensitive environment while promoting diversity, equality, and inclusiveness. This particular assignment is called Celebrating Comebacks in the Classroom. And for me, my experience did not start in the classroom initially. It started in corporate America. However, we're going to start our conversation and our approach about this. Every educator has a way to celebrate strengths with their students in the classroom. As a former corporate executive in the healthcare industry, I will oversee the monthly birthday club for our department by celebrating culture, food, and fellowship throughout the workday set aside that month to celebrate everyone's workday. So creating culture in the corporate life, it relates to the care ethic research expert Joan Toronto and one of her principles of responsiveness. Responsiveness engagement is a commitment to provide the opportunity and a safe space for others to express their otherness. And doing the birthday club in corporate allowed us to do that because we get to learn more about that person who we are, our people we're recognizing for that month for their birthday. So the menu will include everyone's involvement in the department, bringing in their favorite dishes, whether it's breakfast food, brunch, lunch, snacks, where everyone can engage and partake, so no one would have to buy food for that day, where they can stay focused, keep their energy, and meet job performance at the same time until we break bread together officially for lunch. And then I will buy a public strawberry vanilla filled yellow birthday sheet cake, very decorated for the birthdays for the month, for all those team members who celebrated they born day, and it's served with ice cream after we eat our other goodies. There would be so much food left over until we had enough to share to other team members outside our department with the consent of the team, as well as having the team members be able to take food home for that evening to have dinner. To me, this act of kindness does not single out or embarrass anyone with their current social status. And that's where our diversity, equality, and inclusiveness come into. And being trauma sensitive to others' personal situation. This gesture is a part of my morals and ethics, which is my dispositions, that is infused as an educator according to the scriptures of Galatians 5:25. We ought to do unto others as we have them to do unto us. This tradition was instilled in me from my mother. Growing up in my neighborhood, there was a homeless neighbor who was living in his parents' abandoned home and around the corner from us, and my mother will always feed him food and her home baked good desserts at least 2 to 3 times a week until he died. Each time I facilitate celebrating born days with food, these milestones sparks up conversations about culture and the foods that each of the team members grew up with and what they mean to them symbolically. So we get to learn a little bit more about our teammates who we work with every day outside of the workplace. That helps us promote and create trauma sensitive environments, because when we are aware, then we can be able to support each other. These communication exchanges create an interest for exchanging recipes or placing food orders among each other for their personal upcoming events or holidays, for their family and friends outside of the workplace to encounter the same experience to their tongue palate like we did for that particular day at work. So as I shift careers as an educator, I kept the same celebration going on, not just for birthdays, but for academic achievements as well for students. I always inform my students on the first day of class that everyone has an A in the class. However, they must do their part to maintain the A. So when we have progress reports, final exams, honor roll, standardized assessment test results, these academic benchmarks are celebrated throughout the student's progression during the academic year with awards from me, which could be certificates or medals or even a tool from my tool chest, toy chest box that I will keep in my classrooms for certain grade levels. Secondly, birthdays are always acknowledged and celebrated with food. My K through 12 students and parents, we would collaborate and come together and decide on a menu, who was going to bring what. So everyone is participating and involved, including myself. And then my college students will participate as well, celebrating their hard work despite any and all challenges they had to fight and endure and get through personally and as a group, as a class, to achieve their goal, whether it be a test, whether it's a practical exam, or either getting the grade necessary to go to the next course to complete their goal. But lastly, we always must celebrate with care. In my conclusion, many employees and students, they come to work or school with food insecurities, and many of them won't share these type of setbacks in this area. I have observed and I have learned when we lack insufficient nutrition and nutrients, we do not possess the energy, focus, and performance that is needed to complete a job or task that is given to us. The principle of responsiveness by Joan Toronto, it requires attending to people, articulating of who they are, what their experiences have been, what their needs are, how these needs have arisen, and how they can best be met. I have had former co-workers and students who have personally shared with me that I have heard their prayers to have food to eat during the day and to take home for dinner that night. According to the Message biblical version of Romans 12:20, our scriptures tell us if you see your enemy hungry, go buy that person lunch. Or if he's thirsty, give him a drink. Your generosity will surprise him with goodness. Don't let evil get the best of you. You get the best of evil by doing good. This is your host, Therese W. Gamble. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you can replicate creating strengths within your family, your community, your church, your classroom, so we all can strive and thrive together. Thank you for listening, and stay connected.
You have been listening to Courageous Conversation with Therese W. Gamble. Courageous Conversation is powered by Concierge Resource Professional Consultant.